Hey guys, we're going to take some time today and make a model magic octopus. So the first thing that I need for you to do on your board, and your board should be tall, that is portrait style, is I need for you to take your Sharpie and write your name at the bottom down in the corner. Okay, don't write tiny, but don't write too big either. So write your name, bottom corner on the front, and your board is tall. As soon as you're done writing your name, put your marker in the middle of the table. You don't need it anymore. Okay, so nothing but your name. Okay, when you get your model magic, I'm going to have one end cut off for you. I need for you to turn it over so that you get this tab right here on the back where it's the packet sealed shut. And I need for you to, right where the opening is, I need for you to peel that apart. And I need you to be really careful because we don't want to mess up the shape that is in the packet right now. Okay, so that's not going to come open very easily. So I'm just going to turn this out. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it out. But don't mess up the shape of your model magic. We're going to kind of cut this into some sections. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that you can see how we're going to section this off before we roll it and shape it into an octopus. So you took it out of your package. It still looks like the shape that it was in your package. Don't stretch it or roll it or anything right now. You just took it out and laid it down. And then you are going to have a little tool that is basically an ice cream spoon, and you're going to take it and we're going to be cutting and making some indentions in here with this. So first thing I need for you to do, and your model magic piece should be tall also, take your ice cream spoon rather, it's not really a popsicle stick, but an ice cream spoon. And I need you to kind of hold it and find the center, so like halfway down, and I need you to just make a little light indentation in there. Don't cut it. You just made a little indentation so we know where halfway down is. Okay, so we have a top section and a bottom section. Okay, we didn't cut it. We just made a little indentation so we know about where halfway is. Okay, looking at the top section, everybody needs to look at this. So the top section, just ignore the bottom section, but just the top section. Find halfway down in the top section and mash down a little harder and make an indentation. So we found halfway, and then we were working in the top section and we found halfway down in just the top section. Okay, so I'm going to rock my tool down all the way until it makes a pretty good perforation so I can take it apart. Okay, so we want to take that apart, and now you have this bottom piece. So that's about 1/4, and this is about 3/4. Okay, so we took off a chunk and we've got this piece left. Okay, after you do that, okay, so it looks like this. We have a piece up here. I need for you to cut this piece in half from top to bottom. Okay, so I found halfway, and I'm just going to cut this piece in half so that it looks like this. Okay, so we have a piece up here, and then I cut that piece in half vertically so that I made 2 pieces, and yours should look just like mine. Piece at the top and 2 pieces below. All right, now I need you to look up at the video. Each of these pieces right here, we are going to cut in half across. So cut that in half, cut that in half, and just use your tool, and you can kind of saw it like a knife, and then gently sort of separate those pieces. Okay, so we turned our 2 into 4, and now we're about to turn our 4 that are at the bottom into 8. Okay, so we're about to turn our 4 into 8. So yours should look just like mine. You still have that piece that we cut off at the top, and then we had our piece and we divided it in the center, And now we've divided it across and we've got 4 sort of equal pieces. All right, the next thing I need for you to do is to divide across each of these 4 pieces just one time on each piece. So I cut this piece into 2, this piece into 2. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Okay, so I divided that in half, and I'm going to divide this one in half. And the reason we need 8 sort of equal pieces is because an octopus has 8 tentacles. 8 tentacles. So these pieces are going to be our 8 tentacles. Okay, now I need you to do one other thing. This head piece right here, I need for you to cut off a small piece of it and just leave it right there. That's going to be for the eyes. Okay, so this is the head, this will be for the eyes, and this will be for the 8 tentacles. Okay, so what I need for you to do after you get your pieces cut apart, all right, you have your head piece with a small chunk cut to make eyes, and then we have 8 pieces below that, and we're going to roll our tentacles. Okay, we're going to start with the head first. So I need to scoot these over so that I can show you what you need to do. So I'm going to move that little piece over by itself. I don't want it to get mixed up. So we're going to start with the head piece first. The very first thing I need for you to do is to take that head piece and roll it into a ball. Okay, so remember when you do that, you can do it in between both of your hands, or you can put it on the table and you can take your hand, and remember you go in a circular motion with your hand and roll that head piece into a ball. All right, once you have it rolled into a ball, you are going to put this near the top of your board, and your name should still be showing. And when you put it near the top of your board, go ahead and with your fingers, your thumb, you can very gently start to press this a little bit flatter. If you want your octopus to be rounder and then kind of come to a little bit more of a narrow ending down here, you can do that. However you want to shape the octopus's head. And I'm just using my finger, and I'm just going to pat it with a little bit of pressure because I want it to be sort of smooth and not have lots of like fingerprints all in it. Okay, now I don't know if you can see this or not, but my paper that I'm working on got black on here. If that happens to you and you get like your Model Magic gets a little dirty, that's not a big deal because we are going to come back and paint this, so paint will cover up any little messes that you might have gotten in there, little messy stuff. Okay, so once you have the head shaped like you want it, then you're going to start to work on the tentacles. Okay, so the tentacles, instead of rolling into a ball, you're going to roll a coil, and you can roll it into a ball first if you want to. That actually makes it really smooth. So you could roll a piece into a ball first, and then you can roll it into a coil. Totally up to you. If you want to do that extra step. So you could do it into a ball first and then roll it into a coil. So remember that a coil, instead of, and if I can get everybody to put your hands in your lap and look up at the video, give you just a second. Everybody put your hands in your lap and look up at the video. So a coil, instead of rolling circular, you are going to go back and forth with your hand. And what that does, and a lot of people call this a snake, is it rolls it thin and skinny. Okay, now this is not very long, so I'm going to keep rolling mine. I'm going to move my other tentacle pieces out of the way so I don't get them stuck to this one. You are going to roll, and you can, a lot of people roll with 2 hands. I like to just do it with 1, so I can kind of feel it real good, and I know that I'm not mashing too hard, and I'm trying to get it even all the way down. But you are going to take your tentacle, and notice that mine is way longer than my board. So if that happens, what you need to do, and you're going to attach it to like down at the bottom of the head, is I am going to make my tentacles curl, okay? When you make your octopus today, you don't want any part of your octopus sticking off of your board. No part of your octopus should be sticking off of your board, okay? So you're gonna make 8 total tentacles, and you just attach them, and it's okay if they kind of bump up next to each other, but remember what I said, none of your octopus, no parts of it can go off of your board. So you may have to curl it in a way that it like sticks to itself so that it is not sticking off of your board, because if things stick off, they are likely to break off. So nothing sticking off of your board, so you're going to need to curl it or bend it in a way that it's completely enclosed in the board, so it's on completely on the board. When you are attaching your tentacles to the bottom of the head, maybe take your finger and very gently, right where it's attached, rub that spot for a few seconds and try to get it smooth so it looks like the tentacles are completely attached and they're not just stuck on. It looks like it's one whole piece of Model Magic. Rather than you making pieces and sticking them together, they look like they're really attached to each other. So you keep making tentacles, and I'm going to make one more, and I'm going to show you about the eyes real quick so that you know what to do when it gets time for you to make your eyes. And I'm going to stop right here, and if I can get everybody to pause whatever you're doing. The eyes, remember, were that tiny piece that we cut off of the head. So what I need for you to do is to divide that in half. And I'm going to take one piece and divide it in half again. Same thing with the other. And then I am going to make pieces for the eyes. And I'm just going to roll them. And what I want you to do is to attach them on. So you're rolling it, and then you're attaching it, rolling it and attaching it. And I'm doing a 2-piece eye, so it's a bigger piece, and then I'm actually going to make a really small piece to put on so it gives it some dimension, so it's not completely flat. We've got pieces. So I'm gonna bring that up to the camera so you can see that a lot better. So do you see the 2 pieces that I made and put on for the eyes? So you just keep going, and you're going to make the eyes and make your tentacles. And if for some reason you have a tiny piece of Model Magic left, you can bring that to me, okay? So you're not going to be taking any Model Magic with you when you leave, because you have to go to PE anyway. So you keep rolling and making your tentacles. Remember, no part of your octopus should be sticking off of the board. And you can curl them up however you want. Just remember, they're not hanging off the board. Okay, so I'm just going to keep making my last 2, and you keep making yours. Remember where you attach them. You need to take your finger and smooth. I've got one more. And when these are dry, we will paint them. So I've got one more. I think I'm gonna tuck this one in right here. And it's okay too if your tentacles kind of overlap each other. Makes it look a little bit more realistic. And again, taking my thumb and right where my tentacles are attached to my circular head, I am smoothing and smoothing and smoothing. Okay, before you turn this into me, you need to make sure that you have attached well, you've smoothed it well. There's nothing else that needs to be done. Any little design you want to add in, you can press some design in here if you want that. It gives a little like added texture to it, so it's not completely smooth. And all I did was took my tool and I just mashed little lines in it to give it some texture. So you can do that if you would like to do that. However you want to like decorate your octopus, you can do that. Also, if you have a tiny piece left and you want to, you know how octopus tentacles have little like suction cups on the end? They look like little circles. You could take some, and if you roll them in teeny tiny pieces like that and you put them on, they will look like, if I'm gonna get close up on that, they will look like little suction cups on the end of the tentacle. So you are welcome to do that as well. You can take your little leftovers and do that. That's actually really nice because it's a good use of the rest of the model magic. Okay, so when you're done, your artwork is going to come to the drying rack. You need to bring it to me and I will put it on the drying rack because I need to check it and make sure everything's on there really well attached. And then the little popsicle stick, ice cream spoon things, these go in the garbage along with the container that the model magic came in, the little paper wrapper. So that goes in the trash as well. So trash, drying rack, and then I will have collected the Sharpies before you clean up. So no worries about that. Okay, so finish up, and I cannot wait to see your awesome octopus.